Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your Excellency, lecture teaching of the course, Dr. Insinyur Runi Asmaranto, STMT IPM ASEAN Engineer. At this time, I want to explain you about my report from the course of Irrigation Information System course assignment presented by me, Magister Student Water Resource Engineer Muhammad Arif Muzaki Effendi. Based on data, common data, watershed pengeluaran, watershed overview and location. Das pengeluaran in total area in 1700 hectare with perimeter 6700 meters managed by BPDAS Brantas located in East Java administrative coverage at Malang Regency, East Java with Kecamatan or District, Sebermanjing Wetan and Kedangan District. Based on data from the Central Statistic Agency of East Java Province, irrigation and agricultural land use in watershed Penguluran is 849 hectare total rice field, which combined irrigation and rainfed paddy area. Irrigation networks span 728 kilometers across primary, secondary, and tertiary channels. Gedangan district relies entirely on rainfed agriculture. From the first is slope analysis. Slope overview. Land slope is an important morphometric parameter in land use, planning, soil and water conservation, and disaster mitigation. Slope class information helps identify erosion-prone zones, determine land sustainability, and develop sustainable land management strategy. How to make running slope analysis. The methodology from the first step is dam processing. Calculate slope values from digital elevation model or dam to determine topographic characteristic. And the second is reclassification. Reclassification slope into 5 category. On the right side is the table of classified slope. From the first is flat, gentle, moderate, steep, and very steep. And the third is raster to vector. Convert reclassified raster data to polygon format for area calculation. And the fourth is area quantification. Calculate hectare per slope class for land management planning. After we follow the methodology, analysis running is like this picture. We see the watershed slope map of Penguluran. There is more color from green and very steep on the based on red color. Results of the slope gradient class distribution analysis. From the left side, we see the table that the slope area moderately steep is for the gentles, the classification gentle slope area is the biggest area uh, with the 700 hectare, and flat is the second most large is 500 area hectare. And the right side is we see the slope analysis. The most one, the most biggest, the largest is gentle area. With this analysis, we get flat and gentle is ideal for settlement, irrigation, and infrastructure. There is more flat and gentle is dominant. And the second is moderate slope. The moderate slope is transition zone requiring conservation technique. And the last one is the little one is steep and very steep, but we must consider from this classification. Why? Because this high erosion risk suitable for forests. The watershed of predominantly flat to gently sloping, supporting agricultural and settlement development. However, steep upland area require conservation measures to prevent erosion and landslides. This story describes the current condition of Pengeluaran River Basin. With the data, we get some conclusion. Slope-based land management strategy. More than 70% flat gentle areas support development and agriculture, maintain drainage system and sustainable land use planning. And moderate slope, apply terracing, vegetation cover, and water management to reduce erosion risk on mixed farms. And the little one, the steppe area, we must design as protect forest and conservation zones to maintain slope stability and reduce sedimentation. And the second analysis, NDVI analysis. NDVI analysis is vegetation monitoring. NDVI overview, normalize difference vegetation index, measure vegetation health and density using satellite spectral data. Value range from -1 to +1, where positive value indicate vegetation and near zero or negative value indicate bare soil, water, or built-up area. The formula in DVI is in IR means RED per NIR plus RED. The step how to NDVI analysis from the first step is data acquisition. We get Landsat egg imaginary from USGS.gov. We choose May 2023 for dry season and December 2023 for wet season with cloud cover under 10%. Radiometric and atmospheric correction convert digital value to reflect using dark object subtraction or DOS method via ArcGIS Pro or Snap. And the third, spatial clipping. We clip corrected imagery to das pengeluaran boundary using one map police data. And the four is NDVI calculation and classification. We reclassify into 5 vegetation category. On the right side is classification scale. From the first is bare soil, sparse vegetation, moderate vegetation, dense vegetation, and very dense vegetation. And the last step is seasonal comparison. We compare the dry season and December with the wet season NDVI maps, analyze vegetation change and land cover dynamic. At this slide, we all know NDVI seasonal dynamic, May versus December 2023. The left side is NDVI May 2023 for dry season and right side for wet season. At this picture, there is the difference more color from green, yellow, and brown at this map. That's what this means from this picture. The next slide is distribution of NDVI area in the dry and wet season. We all know we get the data that's for NDVI category. We all know for the dry month, dry season, the area of dense vegetation is the largest one. But in the wet season, dense vegetation there is the radius but is the most largest one on wet month. What this mean? And the right side, there's a table of NDVI. We all know that's the residues areas from dense vegetation from the dry season to wet season. Uh, from this table, we are now bare lands and sparse vegetation are increased significantly. That indicate post-harvest condition and reduced vegetation cover during December. Moderate vegetation slightly increase, showing stable vegetative growth in some zones. And the last one, dense and very dense vegetation decrease. But this change is likely caused because seasonal variation or crop rotation, where dense vegetation areas during the dry season become open land over harvest in the rainy season. Preparation for the next harvest. The conclusion. In DVI analyze, we get conclusion for the first is vegetation shift. In DVI, results show a shift from dense vegetation to sparse and moderate vegetation, reflecting seasonal dynamic. And second, seasonal effect. During the rainy season, vegetative activity increase in dry land area, but very dense vegetation decrease after harvest. And the third is RTTG reference, or we say Rencana Tata Tanam Global. According to BP Das Brantas, the third planting season ends in late November due to predicted strong winds and heavy rainfall in December. And the last post-harvest condition. In December 2023, farmland appears as a bare or low vegetation, not due to degradation, but as a post-harvest phase recorded by satellite sensor. The third is NDWI analysis. NDWI analysis is the water content and moisture monitoring. Spectral index developed by MC Peters to enhance contrast between water and vegetation or soil using satellite data. The water properties is strong absorption in satellite is C in IR or near infrared, and the higher reflection in green band. The center of this slide, we see the formula NDWI green minus NIR here, green plus NIR. NDWI vehicle classification, more than zero is water bodies and under zero vegetation soil or non-water. The methodology is comparing NDWI condition between dry season and wet season. The step is like NDVI, but the different ones is the fourth step, NDVI calculation and classification. Uh, the green one, the table is NDWI range for category very dry land, dry vegetation, moist vegetation, wetland, and river, pond, reservoir. And the last one, the last type of methodology is temporal comparison and analysis. We compare about May and December maps using zonal statistics to quantify change. After we running ArcGIS, NDWI seasonal dynamic, we see the difference map, difference color from this picture. NDWI most is green one, but in NDWI December 2023 our wet season is old green is moss or the blue one is moss. So what is the data mean? Distribution of NDWI area in the dry and wet season. Right, left side we see NDWI category. The largest one is dry vegetation, and the wet season is dry vegetation is decrease, change minus 100 hectare. Decrease in dry area significantly during the wet season is indicating reduced low moisture zones due to increased rainfall. And increase in moist and wet zone number 3 and number 4 is mean moist vegetation and wetland category expand, that's showing higher soil moisture and temporary water accumulation. Then Seasonal hydrologic response overall NDWI change reflects seasonal hydrological dynamic, where higher rainfall in the wet season enhance soil moisture, surface water spread, and vegetation vitality, supporting effective water resource and land use management in the Pengeluaran watershed. For that data, we get some conclusion and implication. That NDWI analysis reveals strong hydrological response to seasonal variation in Pengeluaran watersheds. Dry seasons dominance are right lands shift dramatically during wet season, with increased soil moisture and expanded water bodies reflecting high rainfall patterns. First is hydrological response. Clear seasonal fluctuation in moisture and water distribution align with rainfall patterns. Water resource management seasonal variation must inform water conservation and flood mitigation strategies. And the last one is monitor effectiveness. NDWI prove effective for tracking moisture dynamic and water distribution change over time. That's all the conclusions on NDWI. For the last one is closing. Thank you so much for watching my video. If I have a mistake, promise me. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.